So good afternoon all. So in the today's class we will discuss chapter 4, that is about constructors and destructors. These are two important concepts, that is your constructors and destructors, and we will discuss one more topic called operator overloading. So we have seen about function overloading in the previous second chapter, but in the fourth chapter we will see about this operator overloading. These two are comes under this polymorphism. Okay, we have one of the important OOPS concept is that is polymorphism. So we have encapsulation, data encapsulation that we have seen, because class we are creating class is nothing but it is following both data encapsulation, data abstraction, all those things. And inheritance we have not seen, that we will get in the fifth chapter. Entire fifth chapter is based on the inheritance concept. And this polymorphism is nothing but ability to take more than one form. There are two types of polymorphisms. One is static polymorphism, and next one is what? Static and runtime. Okay, static
Dynamic.
and dynamic. Okay, you can call it as dynamic. There is this is static is also called as compile time. So this is called compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism, and we have runtime polymorphism or dynamic polymorphism. This static polymorphism is achieved by using two important concepts, that is function overloading and operator overloading. Function overloading and operator overloading. These two are used to achieve this static polymorphism. But runtime polymorphism is achieved by using these virtual functions through inheritance. Okay, so this we will see in the fifth chapter. So this polymorphism, so one of the this one is your operator overloading, and we have to see about these constructors and destructors. These are special concepts in C++, so which are having some specific task using this constructor and specific task using destructors. So we will discuss about what is constructor, what is destructor, and what are the different types of constructors. There are actually three important types of constructors, that is default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. So those we will see in the today's class. So what is constructor and what is destructor? So a constructor is a special member function. You can call it as a member function only. Means it should be inside the class or outside the class. Define cheyalante, you have to follow the same rules that are for the member function defining outside the class. But only thing is constructor is a special member function. This point is very important. It is also a member function only, but it is a special member function. Why it is special member function? We'll discuss. There are some specific rules for this constructor, which makes the constructor as a special member function. So constructor is a special member function whose main operation is to allocate the required resources, such as memory, and initialize the objects of its class. So generally, we already discussed the objects. Whenever the class is created or class is declared, at that time memory is not allocated and the data will be not initialized. Only that will be done at the time of object creation. But at the time of object creation, only the memory will be allocated, but it won't initialize the data. So what is the purpose of this constructor is, it is a special member function whose main operation is to allocate the required resources. What are the resources for a particular data? It is nothing but memory, or it is used to initialize some data to that particular objects of the class. So a constructor is a distinct from other member function of the class, and it has the same name as that of the class. So this is one of the main rule for this constructor is, it should have the same name as that of the class. That is nothing but class A anedi undi. So inside this class we have both the data members and member functions. But constructor is a member function which is having the same name as that of the class. So inside this public section, I am defining a constructor in which it should have the same name as that of the class. So what is the class name over here? A. So constructor is a member function. So that's why you have to have this one. It is like a function only, but it should have the same name as that of the class. So constructor is a special member function which should be used to allocate the data at the time of object creation, which is used to initialize the data at the time of object creation. Object create అయితున్న టైంలో లేనే నాకు ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి డేటా అనేది ఇనిషియలైజ్ అవ్వాలంటే దట్ ఈస్ పాసిబుల్ త్రూ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద స్పెషల్ మెంబర్ ఫంక్షన్ కాల్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. సో అంటే ఏం లేదు, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇప్పటివరకు చూసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్స్లలో క్లాస్ ఏ అనేది ఉంది. సో inside this one we have data a comma b, and within the public section we have this get data. So what is this get data method? So it may be void get data or anything, but void get data, so it is initialized to a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. I can take from the keyboard, but I am writing like this one. After this one, in the int main section, I have to create the object for this A, and once object is created, at the if I want to initialize the data, I have to call this get data method. Is that clear? All of you clear, right? ఇప్పటి వరకు మీరు చూసింది ఇది అంతే కదా?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is your class A. It has two data members A comma B, and it has one member function get data, which is used to initialize the data. A equal to 10 and B equal to 20 and మీరు డైరెక్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఇవ్వలేరు, కంపల్సరీ త్రూ మెంబర్ ఫంక్షన్స్ మాత్రమే ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేయొచ్చు. బట్ ఇలా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత నేను ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్ గా ఆ మెంబర్ ఫంక్షన్ ని కాల్ చేయాలి టు ఇనిషియలైజ్ ద డేటా, అంతే కదా? ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాను, obj డాట్ గెట్ డేటా అన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే A కి 10 అనేది ఎలకేట్ అవుతుంది, B అనేది 20 అవుతుంది. బట్ నేను జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయగానే ఈ టైంలోనే నాకు డేటా అనేది ఇనిషియలైజ్ అవ్వాలి, ఆర్ రిసోర్సెస్ షుడ్ బి అలాటెడ్ టు ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్. దెన్ దట్ ఈస్ పాసిబుల్ త్రూ ఏ స్పెషల్ మెంబర్ ఫంక్షన్ కాల్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. సో ఈ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ లోపల డైరెక్ట్ గా A ఈక్వల్ టు 10 అని ఇస్తాను, B ఈక్వల్ టు 20 అని ఇస్తాను. ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు ఇంట్ మెయిన్ అని చెప్పేసి వెనెవర్ యూ క్రియేటింగ్ దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, ఆటోమేటికల్లీ it will internally it will call this A. So directly A equal to 10, B equal to 20 అనేది initialize అవుతుంది. So what is the main purpose of this constructor is, whenever object is created, if I want to initialize the data to those objects, then that is possible through a special member function called constructor. Hope you clear, right? What is the definition for the constructor?
Yes, sir.
Right. So constructor is called implicitly, automatically, whenever the object is created. సో మీరు కాల్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఏ ఓబీజే అనగానే ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఇది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఓబీజే డాట్ ఏ అని కాల్ చేస్తుంది. ఓబీజే డాట్ ఏ అనగానే దట్ ఈస్ యువర్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. సో ఇట్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ సో నో నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్ దట్ ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్లీ, it implicitly or automatically, whenever the object is created, this constructor will be called automatically. So that's why it is a special member function. So in other words, it is a member function which initializes object members of the class. So object members ante data members ante. So the main, what is the definition for constructor is, it is a special member function which is used to initialize the data members of a class and called automatically whenever the new instance of class is created. New instance of class ante entidi? What is the meaning of new instance of class?
New object is created.
New object.
Right? Yes, very good. Okay. So object is created is nothing but instance. Object is nothing but what is the definition for object is, it is an instance of a class. Instance ante it is nothing but a particular class ki oka chinna danni represent cheyadam annattu ante. A class ante nenu fruit ante cheppalenu, but mango annappudu I can say it is a mango. So that is instance of a class. So what in a simple terms I can say, right, what is the definition for the constructor is, it is a member function. Member function anukuda kaadu, special member function. It is a special member function which is used to initialize the data members of a class and automatically called whenever the object is created, object of the class is created. So it is a special member function which is used to initialize the data members of the class, and it is also automatically called whenever the object of the class is created. So that is the definition.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, if suppose in function we have any operations, sir, like plus minus, in that time also it will only automatically sir.
I didn't get you.
Sir, అంటే ఇప్పుడు a is equals to 10 days లో sum is equals to a plus b
Yeah,
అని
right,
ఏదైనా
right.
operations.
You can do that operations also. Yeah, but that will be performed
Okay,
at
sir.
the time of object creation itself. You can write like c equal to a plus b. C equal to a plus b అని ఇక్కడ రాయొచ్చు మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా. C equal to a plus
So
b.
no need function call,
Yeah.
sir.
Right, no need of any function call also. You can do all the operations inside this constructor, but everything will be done at the time of object creation. మీరు జస్ట్ ఓబీజీ అని క్రియేట్ చేయగానే ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఇవన్నీ ఆ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ లో ఉన్న అన్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతాయి. మీరు ఏ స్టేట్మెంట్ అయినా రాయొచ్చు ఇన్సైడ్ ద కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద ఇనిషియలైజేషన్ టాస్క్, ఇట్ కెన్ బి యూజ్డ్ టు డూ సమ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ టాస్క్ ఆల్సో. యూ కెన్ రైట్ ఎనీ లాజిక్ ఓవర్ హియర్. ఓకే, బట్ ఓన్లీ థింగ్ ఈస్ at the time of object creation itself it will be automatically called. No need to call this constructor explicitly. Separate గా నేను మళ్ళీ obj.a అని చెప్పేసి కాల్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Clear? Got it right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So what is but the main purpose is to initialize these data members at the time of object creation itself. Okay, in simple terms. So C++ runtime system makes sure that the constructor of a class is the first member function to be executed automatically when the object is created. So object create చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే first it will check the compiler whenever you are creating the object, the compiler first it will go to compiler will check when any constructor is there or not. If the constructor is there, then automatically it will be executed. If the constructor is not there, then it will execute some other task. Okay, some other member functions కానీ కాల్ చేసినవి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతాయి. So what are the main characteristics of constructor? This you can expect for 3 marks question or 5 marks question. What are the characteristics of constructor? What are the characteristics of friend function? What are the characteristics of inline function? These are the expected questions. So by using these characteristics, it has some special characteristics. Based on these characteristics only, I am calling this as a member, special member function. So what is the main characteristics of this constructor is, it is different from normal functions in the following way. Normal member functions unnai, but what is the main difference between this constructor and normal member functions is nothing but constructor has same name as that of the class itself. This is very important. Okay, so constructor anedi always the constructor name should be same as that of the name of the class. Not created, then the constructor is not called. Correct. Someone asked, so yeah, if the pin number 36. Okay, yeah, if the object is not created, then the constructor is not called. Correct. The if you didn't create the object, then the constructor will be not called. Whenever you are creating the object, then only it will be that will be implicitly called, automatically called. But without creating any object, nothing can be done. Even without creation of object, you cannot do anything with the you cannot do any operations on the class. So compulsory you have to create the object, then only this constructor will be called. So constructor has same name as that of the sir, can we have multiple constructor? Yeah, that concept also we will discuss. That is called constructor overloading. That is there. You can have any number of, like in the same as that of the function overloading, there is a concept called constructor overloading. That is called multiple constructors. So yeah, so can we have multiple constructors within the same class? Yeah, you can have multiple constructors within the same class. That is called constructor overloading. We'll discuss that. Okay, so what is the main characteristics of constructor is, constructors should have the same name as that of the name of the class, and constructors don't have any return type, not even void. Don't write any return type for the constructor. So that is nothing but not even void, because even void is a return type also. That is nothing but no return type. Okay, so whenever you are writing this constructor, you can define this constructor inside the public section or private section, but always you have to use this kind of thing. It should be same as the constructor name should be same as that of the name of the class, and it should not have any return type, not even void. And a constructor is automatically called whenever the class is instantiated. Object అనేది క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు automatically it will be called. Okay, అండ్ మీరు ఇప్పటివరకు క్రియేట్ చేసిన వాటిలలో మీరు ఇప్పటివరకు ఏం కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ క్రియేట్ చేయలేదు కదా అని అనుకుంటే, బట్ by default one constructor will be called. That's why that is called default constructor. We will discuss that. Okay, మీరు ఏం చేయకుండా గానే, even if you didn't create any constructor inside the class, automatically the compiler will create a default constructor. That is nothing but in this manner. This is a constructor with empty body is called a default constructor. That will be automatically created by the compiler itself. It is normally used to initialize the data members of the class. Most commonly we will use the constructor to initialize the data members of the class. It is used to allocate the memory to the dynamic data members of the class. Whenever I want to allocate the dynamic data members, that is nothing but new operator use చేసి ఏమన్నా డేటాని allocate చేద్దామని అనుకున్నప్పుడు, then we will use, sir, if we inherit a class and create an object for derived class, then will base class constructor is called or not? Yeah, it will be called. Yeah, we will discuss all those points. Okay, inheritance lo whenever you are inheriting a class and you are creating the object for the derived class, then the base class constructor will be called. Yeah, it will be called. Like if you have this class A, inside class A we have this is called base class constructor. In the same manner, we have another class B, and inside this one we have another constructor called B. And what is the doubt she is asking is, that is, I am creating an object. Okay, so object for this B obj. Then whether this base class constructor will be called or not. Okay, that will be called. So that question you can expect in the ESET also. Okay, that is nothing but there will be a hierarchy. First base class constructor will be called, after that derived class constructor will be called. Whenever you are creating the object for this derived class, first base class constructor is called, later this derived class constructor is called. That is, we will discuss. Okay. So next, it is used to allocate memory to the dynamic data members of the class. We do not specify a constructor. C++ compiler generates a default constructor. Okay. By default, if you didn't create any constructor, మీరు ఇప్పటి వరకు రాసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అన్నిట్లలో కంపైలర్ will itself create a default constructor with same name as that of the class and with empty body. ఇలా మీరు క్రియేట్ చేయకున్నా కానీ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ it will be created with empty body. That is called default constructor. So what are the main important characteristics or properties of this constructor is constructor should have the same name as that of the class, and it should not have any return type, not even void, and it is automatically called whenever the object is created, object of the class is created. And the main purpose of the constructor is used to initialize the data members of the class, and it is used to allocate the memory to the dynamic data members of the class. If you didn't specify any constructor, the compiler, C++ compiler will automatically create a default constructor for us. Okay, it does not have any parameters and has empty body. Okay, it is like a constructor. It should be the same name as that of the class with empty parameters and with empty body. That is your default constructor. Even if you didn't create any constructor, C++ compiler automatically creates a default constructor for us. So constructors versus member function. So what is this constructor and what is this member function? So it has some rules, right? So that makes the difference between constructor and member function. So constructor is also a member function only, but it is a special member function because it has some special characteristics. What are those characteristics? Constructors does not have any return type, not even void, but member function should have return type. Constructor is automatically called when we create the object of the class, but member function అనేది కంపల్సరీ మీరు ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్ గా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ద్వారా పిలవాలి, అంతే కదా. If I have this class A and inside this class A within the public section we have a data member int A, and inside this public section we have a constructor and we have one member function like get data or display data, like this. So whenever I am creating this object into main and I am creating this AOBJ, so here this member, what is the main difference between this member function and constructor is constructor does not have any return type. Ikkada return type undoddu, not even void ani kuda rayaddu, and member function have return type. Always it should have return type. It may be no return type aithe void ani pedtanu, levothe if it is returning integer value I will mention it as int, float, char, anything. And constructor is automatically called whenever we are creating the object. So మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైతే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారో ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఇట్ విల్ ఆటోమేటికలీ కాల్ దిస్ constructor. But member function compulsory మీరు explicit గా కాల్ చేయాలి by using object. So that's why obj.getData అని కాల్ చేయాలి. Got it right? Are you getting right? Are
Yes,
you getting?
sir.
Yeah. So this is your first one is your this is a constructor and this is your member function. And always the constructor should not have any return type, not even void, and the member function can have the return type. It may be any return type, and constructor is automatically called whenever you are creating the object, but this member function you should compulsory call explicitly by using the object of the class. When we do not create any constructor in our class, C++ compiler creates a automatic constructor that is called default constructor. So if you didn't create any constructor within our class, C++ compiler creates a default constructor and it insert into our code. But the same does not apply to the member functions. Ante meer oka member function create cheyaladu anukondi, compulsory class create cheyadu, compiler anedi create cheyadu, compulsory member function the user has to create. But if the user didn't create, then there is no member function. But if the user didn't create any constructor, the compiler itself creates a default constructor like this with empty parameters and with empty body. Got it? All of you got the differences between constructor and member function, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is about constructor and member function. And what is the syntax for the constructor? Like all other member functions, syntax is same. Okay. The constructor can be defined either within or outside the class. In the same manner, I can define member function inside the class or outside the class. Whenever I want to define this member function inside the class, then in the public section I will write like int get data, something like this, and like this I will define inside. But if I want to define outside, then I have to write return type and name of the class, scope resolution operator, get data, and JPSC, I have to define outside. In the same manner, whatever the rules that are there for the member function, the same rules are there for the constructor, but it has some special rules. So like any other member function, the syntax for creating the constructor is also same. And the constructor can be defined. I can define this constructor inside the class or outside the body of the class. It can access any data members like other member functions. So what is this one? Constructor must have public access specifier. Compulsory you have to write this constructor inside the public, because if you write inside private, what will be the disadvantage? Can anyone tell? Can anyone guess? If
We
I
cannot
give-
access outside.
Very good, very good. Yeah, who said the answer?
Harshvardhan, sir.
Yeah, Harshavardhan. Okay, right. Okay, right, Harshavardhan. Very good. Okay, so because if I mention this in the private section, or otherwise, if I didn't specify this public access specifier, then it will be by default in the private. So private members are not accessible outside the class. So that's why, because I'm creating this object outside the class in the int main section. So that's why always it is better to define these constructors inside the public section. So we have this class is the keyword and name of the class. Inside this class, I can have private section, public section, protected section. By default, if you didn't write anything, if you didn't mention this one, then automatically whatever the data variables are there, those will be by default private. And in the public section, it is better to mention this constructor. And constructor is having the same name as that of the class name, and it should not have any return type, not even void. And it may take parameters or it may not take parameters. So based on that only, we will divide this constructor into three types. If the constructor is not taking any parameters, that is called default constructor. If the correct constructor is taking any parameters, that is called parameterized constructor. And if the constructor is taking this class object as parameter, then that is called copy constructor. We will discuss those three types of constructors. So this is constructor declared or constructor prototype. So that is nothing but name of the class and name of the constructor should be same, and the constructor should not have any return type, not even void. And if the constructor can take parameters, and you can write this constructor definition or constructor definition inside the class or outside the class. If you are writing the constructor definition inside the class, then you can directly write like this. But if you are writing outside the class, then you have to, because there is no return type for the constructor, so no return type. And the second syntax is name of the class and scope resolution operator and name of the constructor. So what is the name of the constructor? Same as that of the name of the class. So clear, right? All of you clear with the syntax?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is a simple example, like we are having class A, and in the public section, better to define this constructor inside the public section. And this data members you can be defined in the private section. No need of this index in here. Always better to define this constructor inside the public section. So inside this public section, we have this constructor, and here A is the name of the class. So the name of the constructor is also same, and it is not taking any parameters. And here you have to write the code related to this constructor. Mostly we will write object initialization like x equal to 10 or cout enter x value c in x, like those kind of code we will write in the constructor. And while defining a constructor, you must remember that the name of the constructor will be same as that of the name of the class, and constructors will have any return type, never have any return type. So constructors can be defined either inside the class definition or the outside the class definition using class name and scope resolution operator. If you are declaring this constructor definition outside the class, then inside the class రాయాలంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు ఏ అని చెప్పేసి ఇట్లా రాస్తారు. That is you are defining this constructor inside the class. But if you want to define this constructor outside the class, first you have to declare inside the class. Later you have to define this constructor outside. So whenever you are defining the member function, it is also a member function only. First we will write return type, but there is no return type for the constructors. And the second one is name of the class. What is the name of the class? A. And what is the scope resolution operator? And name of the function, that is A. This one. Okay, this is the constructor definition. If you want to write outside the class, compulsory you have to use name of the class, scope resolution operator. As constructor does not take any return type, you don't mention anything. Got it right? All of you clear with constructor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And the next topic is your destructors. So in case of .NET, you cannot see this constructor and I think constructor is there in .NET, but destructors won't be there in .NET because the destructor is only the special concept that is there in only in the exclusively in the C++, but the concept is not there in .NET because that will be taken care by a special concept called garbage collector. Okay, so destructor in C++, it is also a special member function, same as that of constructor. It is exactly reverse to the destructor is sorry, destructor is exactly opposite to this constructor, in which destructor is a special member function whose main operation is to deallocate the memory. Whatever the memory or whatever the data that is initialized by the constructors, that memory will be deallocated by using the destructor. So destructor reclaims all the resources allocated by the compiler to an object. So whatever the resources that are allocated to an object. So generally, what are the resources that will be allocated for the object? Memory will be allocated. So memory will be one resource, and processor will be allocated. So processor or CPU will be allocated. That is also another resource. Some registers will be allocated. So registers also one of the type of resource. And sometimes input devices may be allocated, like keyboard may be allocated for this object. So that is called, these are all called resources. So what is the main purpose of destructor is it is used to reallocate, reclaim anochu, reallocate the resources that are allocated, reallocated kaadu, deallocate. Okay, deallocate the resources that are allocated by the compiler to the object when the object goes out of the scope and no longer needed. Ante object anedi whenever the program end అవుతుంది అన్నప్పుడు, program end అవుతున్నప్పుడు, so whatever the program మనం ఈ డిస్ట్రక్టర్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ లేదనుకోండి, కంపల్సరీ దట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి టేకెన్ కేర్ బై సమ్ అదర్ కాన్సెప్ట్. బట్ in case of Java or .NET or Python, there is a special concept called garbage collector. So there is a special concept called garbage collector which will take care of this everything. Unused objects ఏవైనా ఉన్నా వాటన్నిటిని మెమరీని ఫ్రీ చేయడం అదంతా కూడా that will be taken care by this garbage collector. But in case of this C++, there is no concept of garbage collector. So that's why it has to be done manually by using these destructors. So what is the అంటే మీరు కంపల్సరీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ రాస్తే కంపల్సరీ డిస్ట్రక్టర్ రాయాలి. ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు ఇంటి మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ టర్మినేషన్ ఎప్పుడవుతుంది, ఆ పర్టికులర్ రిటర్న్ జీరో అన్నప్పుడు నాకు ఎంటైర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ టర్మినేట్ అవుతుంది, అండ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అనేది కంప్లీటెడ్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ. ఎట్ దట్ టైం ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఏవైతే క్రియేట్ చేశానో ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ సంబంధించిన మెమరీ ఏదైతే అలొకేట్ అయిందో, ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి డేటా మెంబర్స్ కి డేటా ఇనిషియలైజ్ అయిందో అవన్నీ కూడా ఎరేజ్ చేయాలి. దట్ విల్ బి టేకెన్ కేర్ బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ డిస్ట్రక్టర్. సో డిస్ట్రక్టర్ ఈజ్ యూజ్డ్ టు reallocate all the resources that are allocated, not reallocate, deallocate. Okay, destructor is used to reclaim or deallocate the resources that are allocated by the compiler to the object when the object goes out of scope. Object goes out of scope is nothing but object is no longer needed or no longer used at that time. So similar to constructor, a constructor must be declared within the public access specifier only, so that it is accessible to all the users and all its users. Next, the syntax for destructor is same as that of the constructor only, but only it is preceded with one operator called a tilde operator. So this is called tilde or negation operator. So constructor is also constructor ki evaithe rules unnayo destructor ki kuda ave untayi, but only thing is destructor is always prefixed or preceded with one special operator called tilde operator. It also does not return any type, return any value, not even void. Destructors will never have any arguments and therefore cannot be overloaded. This is very important. We'll discuss those two differences because most expected question. So what is destructor is? Destructor is also having, so in the same manner, destructor, if I have a constructor, in the same manner I can create the destructor. I have to mention in the public section only, and this is your destructor, and this should be preceded with it. The destructor also should be containing the same name as that of the class, but and it should not have any return type, not even byte, and always it has to be preceded with one operator called a tilde operator. This is called negation symbol. It is there in the comma. Okay, in the keyboard it will be there, comma paina untundi, that is your negation symbol. And destructor does not take any parameters. That is, these are the three important rules for the destructor. It should be having the same name as that of the name of the class, but preceded with this tilde operator, and it does not return any, it does not have any return type, that is not even void, and it does not take any parameters. So that's why it is not overloaded. We will discuss. Okay, destructor is a special member function which destructs or deletes an object. Okay, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఏదైతే క్రియేట్ అయిందో దానికి సంబంధించిన రిసోర్సెస్ ఏవైతే అలొకేట్ అయినాయో అవన్నీ డీఅలొకేట్ చేయడానికి we will use this destructor. So what is the when the destructor function will be called, or destructor will be called automatically when the object goes out of the scope. ఎప్పుడైతే ఫంక్షన్ ఎండ్ అవుతుందో ఆర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎండ్ అవుతుందో ఆర్ లోకల్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఏవైతే బ్లాక్ కంటైనింగ్ లోకల్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఎండ్ అవుతుందో డిలీట్ ఆపరేటర్ అనేది కాల్ చేసినప్పుడు ఈ 4 సిచ్యువేషన్స్ లలో డిస్ట్రక్టర్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ. How destructors are different from normal member function is destructors have same name as that of the class, but it should be preceded with this tilde operator. And destructor don't take any argument and does not return anything. Okay, and does not return anything, and it don't take any arguments. Constructor can take parameters, but destructor cannot take parameters. And what is the syntax for this destructor is same name as that of the class, and it should not have any return type, not even void, but always this class name should be preceded with this tilde operator. So this is your class A. Always you have to define this destructor in the public section in the same as that of the constructor, also public section, and destructor also public section. And name of the class and the name of the destructor should be same, and it should be preceded with this tilde operator. And destructor does not take any parameters. It does not take any parameters, and it does not return any value. And there is only one destructor. That is very important. There is only one destructor for the class, but you can have multiple constructor for the class. Andukani constructor overloading anedi possible avutundi, but destructor overloading is not possible because there is only one destructor for a class. Yeah, so now I am discussing about the differences between this constructor and destructor. Okay, so constructor is which is used to initialize the object. Okay, which is used to initialize the object, or which is used to allocate the resources for the object. And destructor is used to deinitialize the object, or which is also used to deallocate the resources that are allocated for the object by using this constructor. A class can have multiple constructors. Enduko multiple constructors ante because I can have different types of constructors, because constructor without parameters, constructor with parameters, and constructor with another class, same class object, okay, claim same class as parameter. We have different types of constructors, but there is only one destructor anede undi. Andukane ఒకటే డిస్ట్రక్టర్ ఉంది, and but this constructors may be many constructors are there. That's why we can have multiple constructors within the class. That concept is called constructor overloading. But a class can have only one destructor. That is very important. Even if you have many number of constructors also, a class can have only one destructor. And constructor can take arguments. It can take arguments. It cannot take arguments. But destructor cannot take arguments. That is strictly destructor cannot take any arguments. Constructor okavela arguments em lekunte, that is called default constructor. If the constructor is taking any arguments, then that is called parameterized constructor. And if the constructor is taking the same class object as parameter, that is called copy constructor. And constructor cannot return a value. Constructor cannot return a value, and destructor cannot return a value. Okay, so both are, it is not difference. Actually you can eliminate this one. Okay, you can remove. Constructor cannot return any value, not even void, and destructor also cannot return any value, not even void. Constructor name is same as that of the name of the class. Destructor name is same as that of the name of the class, but it is prefixed with operator. Which operator? Yeah, which operator?
Negotiation.
Yeah, that is called tilde operator.
Negotiate.
Okay. Yeah, so constructor is also having the same name as that of the class only, and destructor is also having the same name as that of the class, but only thing is it is prefixed with the tilde operator. And this constructor can be overloaded. It can be overloaded. That's why that is called constructor overloading is possible. But destructor, there is only one destructor. Oka class ki oka destructor maatrame untadi. That's why this is cannot be overloaded. And constructor cannot be virtual. Virtual constructors anevi ledu, but virtual destructors anedi undi. We will discuss what is this virtual in the 5th chapter. At the time we will discuss this point. But what are the differences between constructor and destructor is constructor is used to initialize the data members of a class, or initialize the objects, which is used to allocate the resources for the object. Destructor is used to deinitialize the object, or which is also deallocate the resources that are allocated to the object. It can have multiple constructors, but a class can have only one destructor. It can take arguments, and destructor cannot take arguments. It cannot return any value. Destructor also cannot return any value. and constructor name is same name as that of the class, but destructor name is same as that of the class, but it is prefixed with tilde operator. And constructors can be overloaded, that is called constructor overloading, and destructors cannot be overloaded. Okka destructor maatrame untadi oka program ki. And constructors cannot be virtual constructors are not possible, but virtual destructors are possible. So these are the differences between constructors and destructors. So we will see one example program using these constructors and destructors. Hope dev C++ is visible, right? So we are seeing a simple program like this is your hash include iostream and using namespace std class demo. Within the demo, I am, if I want to define this constructor, okay, I can define this constructor inside the class, and I can define destructor also inside the class. That too within the you can define outside also, but if you are defining inside the class or outside the class, that should be always in the public section. Always this constructor should be defined or destructor should be defined in the public section. So that's why I am writing this public, and this is your constructor in which the name of the class is demo and name of the constructor is demo, and it is not taking any return type, not even void, and it can take parameters and it cannot take parameters. And I am writing cout constructor is called. And next I am writing, I am creating another thing, destructor. Destructor is also having the same name as that of the class, but only thing is it should be preceded with this operator called tilde operator, and I am writing destructor is called. So once this class is over, then in the int main I am just creating the what I am creating. I'm creating just an object for this class. Okay, what is this one? An object for this class. So what is the name of the class? Demo, and the object is d. So whenever you are creating this d, automatically ఏమవుతుంది అని అంటే d dot demo అనేది కాల్ అవుతుంది automatically. That is called constructor will be automatically called or implicitly called whenever the object is created. Whenever the class object is created, the constructor will be by default or automatically it will be called. So internal game d.demo. So now I will save this program and I will try to compile this program. Once this compilation is successful, once this compilation is successful, then I will try to run this program. So what is the output of this program? Yeah, what is the output?
Constructor
Constructor is called destructor.
సో సో ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారో, మీరు ఏమైనా కాల్ చేస్తున్నారా d.demo అని ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్ గా? యు ఆర్ నాట్. సో వెనెవర్ దిస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఈస్ క్రియేటెడ్, ఆటోమేటికల్లీ దిస్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్. అండ్ వెనెవర్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈజ్ ఎండింగ్, ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎండ్ అప్పుడు అవుతుంది, ఇది రిటర్న్ 0 అన్నప్పుడు ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎండ్ అవుతుంది, అప్పుడు డిస్ట్రక్టర్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ. సో డిస్ట్రక్టర్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్. సో whenever the object is created, then automatically this constructor will be called. And whenever the program is going out of scope or whenever the object goes out of scope, then this destructor will be called. Got it? All of you got it, right? Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now we will see this example. We have seen this example and these differences. So now I will go to this topic, that is what are the different types of constructors. So what are the different types of constructors? So what are the different types of constructors? So we will discuss about this topic, that is what are the different types of constructors. Just now we have discussed in brief, that is if the constructor is not taking any parameters, those are called default constructor. If the constructor is taking any parameters, that is called parameterized constructor. If the constructor is taking the same class object as parameter, that is called copy constructor. So what are the different types of constructors? Default constructor, parameterized constructor, copy constructor. If it is like this one, class A, and this could be, if I am taking this class A, within the public section, I am writing a constructor. Constructor should not take any parameters. If the constructor is not taking any parameters, that is called, what is that one? Default constructor. If the constructor is not taking any parameters, that is called default constructor. And the constructor does not return any type, return any value, that is no return type. Okay, constructor should not have any return type, not even void anything. So this is your, if the constructor is not taking any parameters, that is called default constructor. And if the constructor is taking any parameters like int a, int b, or otherwise I will just mention as constructor is taking parameters like a comma b, then this is called what? Can anyone tell what is this type of constructor?
Parameterized.
Parameters.
Parameterized constructor. And if the constructor is taking another object as parameter, same object, okay, so that is nothing but how to create the same class object a obj. So if the constructor is taking same class object as parameter, then that is called what? Copy constructor. Got it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If the constructor is not taking any parameters, then that is called default constructor. If the constructor is taking parameters, that is called parameterized constructor. If the constructor is taking the same class object as parameter, that is called copy constructor. And if you are defining these different types of constructors inside the class, that is called constructor. Anyone tell me? If I am defining multiple constructors inside the class, then that is called what?
Overloading.
Constructor overload.
Constructor
Very
overload.
good, very good. Okay.
Constructor
So you can
overloading.
define. Yeah, మీరు అన్ని చేయాల్సిన అనే కాదు, మినిమం 2 కన్స్ట్రక్టర్స్ ఏవైనా డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్, పారామీటరైజ్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్, లేకపోతే ఎనీ 2 పారామీటరైజ్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్, ఆర్ 1 డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్, 1 కాపీ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్, ఆర్ 2 కాపీ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్స్, ఆర్ 1 parameterized constructor, 1 copy constructor. If you define multiple constructors, more than 1 constructor inside the class, then that is called constructor overloading. So what is default constructor? If the no constructor is defined, so even default constructor అంటే the constructor does not take parameters అనే అనొచ్చు, లేకపోతే కంపైలర్ ఆటోమేటికల్ గా ఒక కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ని ఎవ్రీ క్లాస్ కి క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది డిఫాల్ట్ గా, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. సో వై ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ అని ఎందుకంటారంటే, ఈవెన్ మీరు క్రియేట్ చేయకపోయినా కానీ, ప్రోగ్రామర్ క్రియేట్ చేయకున్నా, కంపైలర్ విల్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ క్రియేట్ వన్ default constructor, that is called default constructor. So no constructor is defined inside the class, then the compiler automatically creates one constructor for the program, that is called the constructor which is automatically created by the compiler when there is no user defined constructor, and which does not take any parameters is called default constructor. Got the definition right? All of you got the definition right? The
Yes, sir.
constructor which is automatically, which is automatically created by the compiler if the user does not create any constructor, or which does not take any parameters, is called default constructor. So this is your class and name of the class. Inside this public section, always constructors or destructors should be defined inside the public section, and it should have the same name as that of the name of the class, and it should not take any parameters. Then that is called default constructor. So even if you do not define any constructor explicitly, the compiler will automatically provide a default constructor implicitly. This is a very important concept for the ESET point of view. So ESET point of view lo meeku ila question adutaru, even if you didn't define any constructor explicitly, whether the compiler will automatically create any constructor or not, that is called default constructor. Meer constructor anedi explicit ga create cheyakapoyina gaani compiler automatically ga oka constructor ni create chestundi, that is called default constructor. And the next one is your parameterized constructor. So this is very simple, that is nothing but if the constructor that takes parameters or arguments is called parameterized constructor. In practical programs, we often need to initialize the various data elements of the different objects with the different values when they are created. This can be achieved by passing the arguments to the constructor functions when the object is created. So our simple terms, whenever if the constructor is taking any parameters or arguments, then that is called parameterized constructor. If the constructor does not take any parameters, that is called default constructor. And the next one is your copy constructor. So generally a constructor, the object of its own class cannot be passed as a value parameter. So but the class's own object can be passed as reference parameter. Such constructor general ga nenu adi value parameter laga pampiyakunda itla pampistam, that is nothing but reference laga pampiste, then that is called copy constructor. I'm sending the same class object as a parameter only, but I'm not sending this object as value, I'm sending this object as reference, then that is called your copy constructor. Got it? All of you got it right? Yeah? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right. So these are the 3 different types of constructors. So parameterized constructors. So it may be necessary to initialize the various data members of the different objects with different values when they are created. This is achieved by passing arguments to the constructor function when the objects are created. So the argument list can be specified within the braces similar to that of argument list within the function. So the constructor that can take arguments are called parameterized constructors. So in case of this parameterized constructor. So someone asked the doubt, right? The same doubt will be clarified over here. That is nothing but if I am having this class A, that is your name of the class, and access specifier we have member functions and variables, and in the public section I am defining a parameterized constructor. This is your name of the class and name of the constructor should be same, and it should not have any return type, not even void, and it is taking parameters. So that's why this is called parameterized constructor. I have to write this one. Once this is done, then I will write like example like public within this one a comma b. So a equal to 10 or otherwise like this. Okay, a comma b ఇలా డిఫైన్ చేశాను. డిఫైన్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇక్కడ నాకు inside this class a we have x comma y in this manner. Okay, all of you following, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this is your class A. Inside this we have data members x, y, and I'm in the public section I have a constructor, and this is a parameterized constructor because it is taking parameters, and I'm writing like x equal to a and y equal to b. Then in the int main section, I am creating this object with 10 comma 20. So this is the syntax for calling this parameterized constructor. సో మీరు పారామీటరైజ్డ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కాల్ చేయాలంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడే దాని పక్కనే పారామీటర్స్ ఇస్తారు. ఆ పారామీటర్స్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటాయి. సో దట్స్ వై x విల్ బి 10 అండ్ y విల్ బి 20. ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఎలా కాల్ అవుతుందంటే obj డాట్ a ఆఫ్ 10 కామా 20 అని. ఓకే, గాట్ ఇట్? అలాగే గాట్ ఇట్?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is your parameterized constructor. And the next one is where, yeah, we will see one of the example using constructors, and we will conclude today's class. So yeah, what is this constructor defined outside the class? We will see. Hope Dev C++ is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I just want to define this constructor inside the class. I just want to define this constructor inside the class. So for this one, hash include iostream and using namespace, and we have this class employee. Within the class employee, in the public section only I am defining. So no need to mention this inside the public section. You can define. Always it's better to define these data members out as private members. Always better to define these data members as private members. And inside, because the constructor should be always within the public section, so that's why inside this public section, so these are all private data members. And after this one, in the public section I am defining a constructor. Always the constructor name and the name of the class should be same, and it is a parameterized constructor because it is taking parameters. So that is nothing but ikkada int I, string n, float s, three parameters తీసుకుంటుంది. And void display, this is a member function. What it is doing is it is just displaying those values. id enti, name enti, salary enti. Okay, just I think here I have to mention like this. Yeah, so this is your id, దాని తర్వాత స్పేస్ వస్తుంది అంతే. స్పేస్ వచ్చి నేమ్ వస్తుంది, salary వస్తుంది. So this id is integer and string is name and float is salary, and I am taking one string data type. Actually this string is not there in case of this C++. So always you have to use this character name of 20, character name of 20. So here it should be character array only. So that's why character array you have to define like this. Yeah, this name equal to n. I think I cannot do in this manner. I have to use this function called string copy of name comma n. I have to use this one, str copy string copy of name comma n. I have to use, and for this one you have to have which header file? String.h.
String.h.
Okay, string.h. Is the syntax for string copy is same? strcpy, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this is your employee. So int I, character array and float s. id I am taking and display I am just displaying those three values, and I am creating the object for this employee e1 with employee, and I am sending these values directly. Okay, so this is your 101 is the id, and this is the name, and this is your salary. His salary 89,000 something, 89,000. Okay, so creating an object of the employee. and I'm creating another object, second object, that is E2 employee 102 something, some name, and I'm displaying those values, return 0. So whenever you are creating this object with sending parameters, then automatically this will be created, this will be called. So internally ఏమవుతుందంటే e1 dot employee అనేది కాల్ అవుతుంది, and here I will be copied with 101, and this n will be copied with Sonu, and s will be copied with 89,000, and this will be done, and it will display those values. So now I will try to save this program. I will save this program. So here I have said, right, string is not there, but string data type is there in C language. Okay, C language string data type is there. So by using this string data type, I can create this name. So that's why by using this string, I can easily execute. I am just replacing character array with string. Now I will try to compile this program. Once this compilation is successful, now I will try to run this program. Okay, so it is getting right. So because the string data type is there, only thing that you have to remember is whenever I am creating this object E1, okay, so directly I can give in this manner, or otherwise I can give in this manner. Actually, I have to give in this manner. So even employee, I am creating the object for this class employee, and E1 is the name of the object, and I am sending these parameters. So that's why this I will be copied with 101, and n will be with Sonu, and s will be with 89,000 salary. And employee E2, his ID is 102, and his name is Nakul, and his salary is 59,000. So just whenever I am creating, if I want to create a default constructor over here, then directly I will write like employee, and I won't take any parameters. This is your default constructor. So this is your default constructor. Got it? All of you following, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So here directly I will give employee ID as 103, and name equal to Kiran, and name equal to Kiran, and salary equal to 67,890. 67,890. So this is 67,890.56 rupees, something like this. Okay, this is his salary. So this is your default constructor. This, and whenever I am creating another object like employee E3, so which constructor will be called for employee E3? Can anyone tell?
Default constructor.
Okay, default constructor, very good. Okay, so for E3, this default constructor will be called, and this ID will be allotted with 103, and name will be with Kiran, and salary will be something. And whenever I am having E1, I have to send these parameters. So that is nothing but 101 and so on, and 89,000, 102. So this is your parameterized constructor, and this is your default constructor. Now I will try to compile this program. Once this compilation is successful, then I will try to run this program, so that you are getting the third one, right? So Kiran, some salary. So this is for, so what is the main objective of this constructor is, if whenever this object is created, at that time object creation itself, I want to initialize the data members. Then that is done by using a special member functions called constructor, and the constructor is not taking any parameters, not even void, and always the name of the constructor and name of the class should be same. And I can define any number of constructors inside the class, that is called default constructor, and I can write this definition inside the constructor or outside the constructor. So this is an example program where I'm defining this constructor definition, or I'm writing this constructor definition inside the class itself. So now I will try to write the definition outside the class. So for this also we will see one example. This is your IO stream and class shape, and in the private section, no need to define this private. By default, data members are private. So once you I am having these three parameters, length, breadth, and x, and within the public section I have this shape. So shape is nothing but, what is this one? Shape. Yeah, what is this shape? Shape is what?
Constructor.
Constructor. Okay, this shape is a constructor. I am defining inside the public section, and it is taking two parameters, and I am just declaring. So this is nothing but constructor declaration. Constructor. Yeah, constructor declaration. And after this one, I am defining one more member function. This is member function. Why this is constructor? Because it is having the same name as that of the class, and it is not taking any parameters. It is not taking any parameters. It is taking parameters. That's why this is parameterized constructor. and it is not returning any return type, not even void. And it is having one member function which is nothing but int area. What is the function of this one is just to calculate this area of the triangle. So for area of the triangle is length into breadth formula I am using, and after this one, this is area, and the next function is your display function. Just I want to display that particular area. So for this one I am using this display function. I'm using this display function, and I'm displaying that area. That's it. So this is both. I am having two member functions: member function to find out area and member function to display the area. So these are the two member functions, that is as one constructor. Then that constructor I am not defining inside the class. I just want to define outside the class, and member function I define inside the class only. So whenever I want to define this constructor outside the class, first one is return type, but there is no return type for the constructor, so that's why no return type. And the next one is name of the class. So I am writing the name of the class and the scope resolution operator and name of the constructor, and it is taking two parameters, a comma b. So length I am initializing to a, and breadth I am initializing to b. And in the main section, first shape c of 2 comma 4 anagane, which constructor will be called? Yeah, shape c comma 2, c of 2 comma 4 anagane, which constructor will be called? Hello.
Parameterized constructor.
Yeah, parameterized constructor will be called. So length will be 2 or something like this. A will be 2 and B will be 4. So that's why length will be 2 and breadth will be 4. And it is calculating the area and it is displaying the area. And you can define define or you can initialize these data members of the object explicitly by using this syntax also. Shape C1 equal to shape of, మీరు జావాలో యూజ్ చేస్తుంటారు. జావా మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద జావాలలో న్యూ అని ఇలా యూజ్ చేస్తుంటారు, బట్ ఇలా కూడా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇక్కడ మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా C1 of 4,4 అని యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు, లేకపోతే అదర్వైజ్ ఐ కెన్ యూజ్ C1 equal to shape of 4,4. Now I just want to, so what is the answer for this one is 4 into 2, area equal to 8 అని వస్తుంది, area equal to 4 into 4 16 అని వస్తుంది. I will save this program. I will try to compile this. Once this compilation, I think some errors are there, so they are normal. Now the compilation is successful. Now I will try to run this program. So the first area is 8 and the second one is area is 16, because the first one is related to 2 4, that is 2 into 4 8, and the second one is 4 into 4 16. And only thing is, this is a parameterized constructor I am defining outside the class. Whenever I am defining outside the class, then I have to use this syntax, that is class name scope resolution operator. And whenever I want to access this parameterized constructor, then I have to create the object with those parameters. ఏమైతే parameters ఉన్నాయో ఆ parameters ని ఇస్తాను. Okay, got it right? All of you clear, right? Today's class. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So today we discussed about what is constructor and what is destructor, what is the syntax of constructor, what is the syntax of destructor, and what are the differences between constructor and destructor, and what are the different types of constructor. And we have seen examples for both default constructor and parameterized constructor. Okay then, thank you all.